Hi, this is Magda from the Interiors Exteriors channel. In this episode, I'll show you a 300 square meter mountain house with concrete ceilings, creative features, and a do-it-yourself garage corner. You haven't seen this yet? I invite you to watch.
Hi, I'm Sylvia. Together with my husband, we decided to build a house. We're native Highlanders, but we didn't choose traditional architecture. When designing this house, our main goal was to keep a simple shape on the outside, but also to maintain a simple look inside. We wanted a subdued color palette, although we really like contrasts. You'll see that in a moment.
This time we're starting outside the entrance, because I really wanted to show you the shape of the house, and most importantly, those yellow doors. Colorful exterior doors have been appearing more and more often lately, and they're a fantastic color accent that gives our homes a more unique character. Now let me invite you in. In the vestibule on the stage, we have the same tiles that you saw outside, and here, flush with them, is the built-in wardrobe. Inside there's a rod for clothes and drawers at the bottom. Now we're moving into the hallway. Behind me is the entrance to the garage, laundry room, and pantry, which we'll take a look at the end of the video. Here are the stairs, and here is a beautiful decorative coat rack for guests. This is a very convenient solution that means we don't need to have a big closet, just one that's big enough to fit the residents' coats and jackets. And when more people come over, the coats just hang out in the open. This could also be a nice inspiration for you if you sometimes host bigger gatherings. You can get a similar folding coat rack, which you can keep on the top shelf of your closet on a daily basis, and when you unfold it, it will be a nice way to hang all your guests' clothes. Now let's move on, and here we have the kitchen. Behind me is the living room, but first I'll invite you to the bathroom. The bathroom on the ground floor was designed with guests in mind, while both bathrooms for the residents were made upstairs. And that's why there was no need to make a drawer under the sink here for everyday cosmetics. Instead, there's a decorative, beautiful, thick countertop covered with tiles. The living room consists of two parts: a dining area with a long table, which is additionally extended, and a lounge area with two sofas. Between these two areas, there's a wood-burning stove, which isn't necessary because the whole house has underfloor heating, but it's nice to sit by a real fire in the evening. Gray tones dominate the interior, with gray floor tiles, a concrete ceiling, and sofas. There are also many wooden elements here, as well as colorful accents like a red chair or a yellow poof. Thanks to them, it feels more homey than harsh here. There's ceiling lighting above the table, but there are also two small cordless lamps. Lately, you can often find this kind of lighting in restaurants, but it also works great in our homes. The original idea for the kitchen was for it to be separated from the living room only by an island, so basically almost completely open. In the end, however, a wall was built and 3D panels were placed on it. The outer ones are fixed, while the ones in the middle can be adjusted to be either more recessed or more convex. Thanks to building the wall in the kitchen, there could be not only lower cabinets on both sides, but also upper ones. Here at the beginning we have the refrigerator, then lots of drawers, a dishwasher, shelves in the upper cabinets, and at the end here we also have a large built-in unit with an oven and a microwave, and deep shelves that can really hold a lot of things. The induction cooktop is wide enough for 5 burners, and underneath it are wide drawers, the first one for cutlery, with an organizer measured exactly to fit the drawer so that no crumbs or debris can collect on the sides. And in each compartment, things have their own place. Below we have the pans, and you can see that they are nicely separated with protectors so they don't scratch each other. And at the very bottom, we have pots, and here the lids are nicely arranged on a rack, like plates. In the spice drawer, the jars are nicely labeled, and there's an extra box for spices that are used less often and don't need to be transferred to a jar. On the wall, there is a quartz sinter, and the countertop is made of brushed granite. Here, we have a stand made from leftover pieces of the countertop that were left over when the kitchen was made. Here behind me, you can see a little alcove with outlets in it. At first, there was a coffee machine here, but now there's a mixer. And this is a really nice way to keep appliances you use often out on the counter. At the same time, they're not completely in plain sight, but rather tucked inside. Now we're upstairs, where we have a long hallway with doors leading to the different rooms. Here we have the bathroom, the exercise room, the children's room, here the guest room, then a storage room, and at the end, the bedroom with a walk-in closet and an additional bathroom. In the bedroom, light and temperature have a huge impact on the comfort of our daily lives. And since on the upper floor of this house, the skylights are the main source of daylight, how we manage them is very important. Here, Velux skylights that open manually have been used. You can easily open them, air out the room, and let in fresh air, which is especially important in the bedroom, especially after the night. Thermal insulating aluminum Velux exterior blinds have been installed, and this is a solution that really makes a difference in everyday life. In the summer, the blinds effectively protect the interior from heating up. The sun doesn't shine directly on the glass, so the temperature inside is noticeably lower. In summer, the blinds can reduce the temperature by up to 6 degrees Celsius. Such solutions are especially appreciated on hot days when you want to sleep comfortably or relax without feeling stuffy. It's winter now, so maybe the heat isn't a problem for you. But what's important is that in winter, blinds provide an extra layer of insulation, which helps reduce heat loss and improves thermal comfort in the room. In winter, these blinds offer up to 14% better insulation. Windows also help to muffle the sound of falling rain, which is especially noticeable with roof windows, making it simply quieter and more peaceful. The second important function is the blackout effect. Thermo-insulating aluminum external blinds allow you to almost completely block out outside light, which is very important in a bedroom. If you like to sleep longer, work shifts, or simply need complete darkness for a good night's sleep, this solution can totally transform the comfort of your rest. The blinds are remotely controlled, so you can conveniently raise and lower them with a single button, which is very practical if you don't want to go to each window separately. For me, this is an example of a solution that genuinely impacts our everyday comfort without unnecessary technological fireworks, just real benefits. Darker in the bedroom, warmer in winter, cooler in summer, and more peace while sleeping. If you want to learn more about Velux blinds and roof windows, I'll leave the links in the video description. Of course, for a good night's sleep, the bed is also very important, and take a look at how it has been placed here. It's under the sloped ceiling, but the slope starts high enough that you can sit comfortably on the bed without hitting your head. So on one hand, it's high enough that you can use the room comfortably, and on the other hand, it's low enough that you still have very good access to the window. On this side of the bedroom, there's an exit to the balcony and a chair where you can also relax in the evening. As you can see, the bedroom is very spacious. There was enough space here for various storage furniture, including the wardrobe from the previous house, and behind the wall, there's also a walk-in closet and a bathroom, which together creates the most private part of the house. In the bathroom, under the sink, there are wide, deep drawers with organizers and containers so that everything has its place, just like in the drawers throughout the house. And on this side, there's a spacious shower. It's under the slant, but again, the slant is high enough that there's still plenty of space here. You can move around easily. And on this side, there's a frosted glass panel separating it from the bedroom. You can see the outline of a person through it, but no details. And yes, while it could be a bit awkward in the living room when hosting guests, for example in the bedroom, where this area is very special and private, it's definitely not a problem, and sometimes it's even quite the opposite. There's a special vent installed on the skylight windows that allows you to regulate the airflow. You can slightly open the windows. You can open them slightly or more for better air exchange. And in the bathroom, this works especially well, because when we take a shower, we can of course open the window. But if we don't want to do that, for example because the weather isn't very warm, then it's definitely not enough to just press, and that's it. The airflow is sufficient for it to evaporate quickly here. There is no skylight in the walk-in closet, so it's definitely darker here, and that's why I'll turn on the light on this side. We have lower built-in furniture under the slant. Down here there's a rod for shorter clothes, pants, and on top, beautifully displayed shoes look really fantastic. There's definitely something to admire. In the next cabinets there are drawers, and above them there's also a shelf, here beautifully displayed handbags. Meanwhile, the rod for long dresses is on the other side in the tall built-in unit, and above the rod there are more shelves. In the next wardrobes there are shelves from top to bottom, so there's really a lot of storage space. Everything is elegantly arranged, looks beautiful, and I think many of us dream of having a wardrobe like this. On the opposite side of the hallway from the bedroom, we have two rooms instead of one large space. On this side, there's a room with exercise equipment, a workout room, while the other room is a children's room, which is still being set up. The second bathroom, which is already accessible to everyone and has an entrance from the hallway upstairs, is also lit by natural light. Here we have a wall-mounted bathtub and a shower, although you can't see it at first glance because it's hidden internally behind the wall. In this bathroom there are also drawers under the sink, and they're even wider, with compartments and containers inside. And once again, everything is in order. Every item has its place. The guest room is actually a small upstairs living room with a sectional sofa that turns into a bed when guests come over. It's a south-facing room, and notice that it's lit only by a skylight. And when the summer sun shines so strongly from the south, the thermal insulating aluminum exterior blind really does the job here. The storage room isn't fully set up yet, so I won't show it to you. Notice the shoe cabinets. Here are the ones that are used less often, stored very nicely. Here the cabinets fit under the slant, and on top there are little vases, because the storage room can look nice too. And what also caught my eye is the supply of organizers, and that shows where such great organization comes from. In all the drawers, one container isn't enough. If we want to organize things, we really need containers in different sizes and depths for all sorts of items. And there has to be quite a lot of them. Not just one, not two, not three. Really, to organize all the drawers in the house, we need a good supply of organizers. The laundry room is 2.5 square meters and is very well organized. The washing machine and dryer are placed at an angle, which gives us perfect access to them, and that's the most important thing in a laundry room. Next to it, there's a vacuum cleaner hanging. Here is a shelf with detergent on top, and behind me, there's a shelf with doors to store some extra things that might come in handy. Here's the sink. Having one in the laundry room is essential. Sometimes you need to pre-wash large loads, which isn't possible upstairs. We also have rods, and this is a solution I haven't come across before, but it's very practical because not all clothes are suitable for the dryer. And then you just hang them up and they can dry right here. Across from the laundry room, on the other side of the hall to the garage, is a pantry. And here there are also shelves, just like in the laundry room, except there was one with doors there, and here they're open. And it's a simple way to organize the pantry space, just by putting in various ready-made shelves where we can store things. Custom-built furniture is great, but we don't necessarily have to invest in it for more utility rooms like this. And now we're entering the garage, and I think this is our first home tour where I have the chance to show you the garage, and there's a lot to show. Right by the entrance we have a sink. In the back there's a boiler room with a pellet stove, and further on there's a nook where a workshop has been set up. And let me tell you, I've never seen a tool corner this organized before. It's really a place to envy. Usually, I tell you about closets and vanities, which are places many women dream of, but honestly, I think I dream about something like this even more. That's all for this episode. Remember to check out the links to our episode's sponsor, Velux. If you want to learn more about windows and blinds, be sure to check it out and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I'll be waiting for your comments and subscriptions. See you next time.